He is the culture blaster, and he comes and goes on a rainbow. How about it for Michael Snyder, everyone?
I am here. Unlike the Palisades fire, I can't be contained. I am on top of things, Mark. It's been treacherous. It has. The power's still at my place here in LA, and if not for the kindness of the people across the street who have solar panels, I would not have been able to be charged up on the phone and computer. I would not have been able to kind of have a decent night's sleep. It's been. I'm very grateful. And
Sure.
neighbors helping neighbors, strangers helping strangers. That's what it's all about. Hopefully we're going to survive this. I will say, I will never eat flaming hot Cheetos, hot pot, or fire roasted chicken again.
You want nothing with hot anymore.
No, nor will I listen to Don Henley's The Heat Is On, Nick Gilder's Hot Child in the City, or Jimi Hendrix's Let Me Stand Next to Your Fire. I want nothing to do with those songs.
What a list. He put that list together.
You know, I literally, this is the truth. I just got an email blast from Best Buy with the subject line, "Wow, these Fire TVs are calling your name." I mean, believe me, Best Buy.
Brutal, yeah.
I am not answering.
I don't want to see fire.
No.
Phineas says, Michael Snyder, good Shabbos.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Are you a rabbi now?
I guess. I don't know. I don't have the payasses, but, you know, that's an in joke for everybody who speaks
Well, I
a
guess
little
to
Yiddish.
you and Phineas will get that. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah,
Yes.
anyway, this is that
What
desert.
about David Burns burning down the house, says John
Oh,
Watson.
I'll listen to that, but only because it's not my house. It's a house belonging to some wealthy person in Malibu.
Oh, well, my heart breaks for everyone, but go ahead.
I agree. I agree. Don't put my feet to the fire. Anyway,
All right.
I do want to also say that I brought you a little gift.
Glenn Fry did The Heat Is On Culture,
I know,
Culture
it was-
Blaster.
it
Get
was,
your Eagles right, dude,
I
says
mean,
Jim.
it was one of those two morons.
My bad. I'm
Burning
sorry.
love. Burning love, says Norman. Everybody can play this game. I love it.
Please don't trigger.
How about we didn't start the fire, says Chaplain
Well,
Fred.
I sure didn't, but let me tell you, there are some bad people out there, arsonists. When I heard about the looting in the Hollywood Hills, I was flummoxed, and I thought to myself, thank God I have nothing to steal.
Yeah,
But,
there's that.
So anyway, it's kind of, I wanted to say, I brought you a gift. You and Courtney. I know you, as a vegan, love non-animal food stuffs.
Right.
And the brutal winds that were so instrumental in causing this nightmare also blew about 100 avocados off my tree in the backyard. And I brought them all here.
Oh, my God, that's great. We love avocados.
Yeah, I actually brought you about 7 or 8, but I have more.
I'll take it.
I'll bring
That's
some
great.
every week, except, you know, you're not going to be here next Friday. So anyway, it is a desert out there in terms of movies. It's early January. People are concerned with the awards that are getting rolled out at places like the Golden Globes event. And those were all prestige movies at the end of the previous year. And the studios and the distributors have a few dribs and drabs that they're going to slowly push out over the course of January, and things will rev up a little bit. But right now, things are slow. So it's the ideal time for an action movie of little import, but a measure of entertainment. So we'll kick off the review segment with Den of Thieves 2, Pantera. This is a sequel to the 2018 action movie that assumes you've seen the 2018 action movie starring Gerard Butler as a LA area sheriff who goes up against a criminal mob that are trying to rip off the Fed. They're trying to steal millions, and they have a clever scheme, and I don't want to detail it, but Ice Cube's kid, a pretty good broadcaster. He's done some sports broadcasting here in the LA area.
What's his name?
His name is, if you need it,
Well, Ice Cube's kid.
I know. I was getting to it. O'Shea Jackson Jr.
Okay.
I like to call him Little Cube, but he's actually his own man, and he's done some good stuff. He was, in fact, in
Ice Cube's subwoofer. I have the same subwoofer that Ice Cube has, and the only reason I know that is the guy who was like, you know, that those guys who sell you stereo equipment and everything that you did never need. It
Sure.
was like the high end equipment.
Oh, yeah.
So the guy came in, and by the way, he was in Saturday Night Fever. The guy who sold me he had a big role in Saturday Night Fever. Anyway, he comes in, and I go, "Hey, aren't you the guy from Saturday Night Fever?" But anyway, he said he's pitching this big, expensive subwoofer for my place, and he said, you know, I just sold the same subwoofer to Ice Cube, which actually did work on me. I ended up buying it.
Oh my God! Yeah, that was straight out of Best Buy instead of straight out of Compton.
I couldn't find it if my life depended on it. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so
sorry.
anyway,
that was a digression.
O'Shea Jackson.
That's Ice
O'Shea
Cube's
Jackson
kid,
Jr.
yeah.
is like he is the getaway driver in the first movie. Things transpire in that film, and this new movie, which is so many years later, is it expects that you know what happened in the L.A. set Popcorn Muncher with all of its twists and turns and betrayals, no matter how outlandish. And if you saw it, you know the backstory that connects Butler's character with Jackson's character. But if not, you're going into this with a disadvantage.
Oh.
Nonetheless, I was somewhat entertained. I
You
mean,
liked it, didn't you?
The sequel is set mostly in Europe, starts in LA. Well, actually, it starts in Europe and then shifts to LA. Specifically, the French Riviera city of Nice. I don't think it was shot there, but whatever it was, it passed for Nice. So much of the movie is all about. Well, first off, for some reason, Butler's character goes to Europe because I guess he thinks he can catch up to Jackson's character. By the way, Big Nick, Butler's character, is sort of slovenly. It reminded me a little bit of how much we love Gary Oldman in Slow Horses. He's kind of a slovenly do-gooder. And so you got that. He's getting divorced from the wife that he cheated on in the first movie. You're picking up the threads of the first film. And Donnie, which is O'Shea Jackson's character, is in Europe, and he's trying to pull off a jewel heist. Okay, spoiler alert, he got away at the end of the first film. So 6, 7, 8 years later, he's over in Europe. And what's going on is so confusing, even if you've seen the previous film, because there are all these battling contingents trying to get a hold of an unbelievably valuable diamond that gets lifted from a plane in Antwerp airport. So who is the good guy? Who is the bad guy? There are degrees of badness here. And then there's Gerard Butler's character. Okay. So much of the movie, maybe as much as 20%, features people speaking in a variety of foreign languages, and the screening I attended had zero subtitles when these people were talking to further confuse matters in the movie. So the complexities of the plot, such as it is, and the interrelationships were often lost, and quite a few of the European actors who were speaking English were speaking it with such thick accents that it was a chore to understand some of that dialogue. Even so, there is a heist sequence and some car chase sequences that are, as they like to say, worth the price of admission.
Wow.
Like the previous movie, this was written and directed by Christian Gudgast, and, not a household name, but, I was kind of interested in, Diamond Thieves and the Mafia versus just career criminals. And in the middle of all this is Butler. If there's nothing else to do this weekend and you're not in a fire zone, you could do worse than watching Den of Thieves 2 Pantera. But I can't really.
You kind of like parts of it, it seems to me.
Yeah, it was not great. It's
Motor X
confusing.
says it was shot in Spain, Michael Snyder, and they were there while the shooting was going on in the movie. They were next door neighbors, the two actors.
Right. Like I was saying, something was standing in for Nice. It wasn't really Nice.
Yeah, but it was definitely European. There you go.
Let's move on to something.
Let's move on.
This is
Michael.
like a catch-up time because
Yes.
things are so slow. Things that I could have reviewed earlier had I seen them. But there is something very timely about this next movie and something very exciting. The movie is called ENO. And you may know Brian Eno as the glammed-up synthesizer player from the original lineup of the awesome and influential art rock band Roxy Music. He was like making the electronic squeaks and squonks behind lead singer Brian Ferry for their first 2 albums. He didn't love touring, and he decided to pursue a solo career. And you may know him as a brilliant and idiosyncratic solo artist and collaborator with a lot of really top-notch musicians, or as the producer of, among others, David Bowie, U2, Talking Heads.
Is that right?
Evo, John Cale. And, he's won awards. He's made some of the greatest music ever in collaboration with these people. You may know him as the creator of crucial ambient music albums like Discreet Music and Music for Airports, or you may not know him at all, but you should, and you can in a really unique way here. ENO serves as a sort of biopic and an appreciation of the artist. and it's the first nonfiction feature film to screen in a different randomly generated version each showing.
What?
No matter how many showings, no matter where they happen, this is the God's honest truth.
What?
Yes, it's the brainchild of director Gary Hustwit, who is best known to me as the director of a very cool documentary about font called Helvetica. So, I mean, this guy is off the beaten path. But, Eno is an important artist, and this is a little different.
Wow,
So-
this sounds wild.
So, no joke, I met Hustwit last week after a showing presented at Vidiot's, which is the filmmaking and acting Duplass Brothers Theater and Video Store complex in the LA area known as Eagle Rock. The version of the movie I saw specifically there for one time only featured interviews, music, archival clips of performances and studio sessions, and recently shot scenes of Eno working on projects, puttering in his English garden, reflecting on his life and career, and it was compelling. And apparently it is different each time.
How do they do that?
There is a generator system. So Hustwit sends a cartridge of some sort for each showing, and it just selects what it's going to present as the movie. I have to say,
So all the material's there, but it's just in a different order or slightly different?
Wait, it was very compelling when I saw it, and apparently it's as good each time. It's generally about 90 or so minutes long.
God, this is wild.
It's randomly drawn from about 12 hours of footage that was, according to Hustwit, winnowed down from 500 hours of material. So they sorted through it and they found the best stuff, about 11, 12 hours. And I say that it's kind of a random thing, but there's a general structure in place that assures a certain coherence, okay?
Okay.
One of my friends saw a version of it that she loved, and she specifically praised the scene with Bono from U2 and Eno in a studio during a U2 recording session. She said, I love this scene. That scene was not in the version I saw.
Wow. I mean, I see the interesting, quirky, and inventive, dynamic nature of the presentation, but at the same time, for just that story you told, I could see it working against you. It's like, gosh, how do I see that version that she saw?
You can't. Well, here's the other thing about it. This plays into Eno's own adventurous nature as an artist. I mean, he would also do a lot of things. He would write things or put things together at random. He had like a deck of cards called oblique strategies that would inform his creativity. He would pick one out at random and it would say, do the opposite of what you were planning to do. And I mean,
wow.
Just absolutely nuts.
I just as an aside, when I hear something like that, I feel like, man, I didn't even show up to creativity. I mean, those people are so creative. They're so magically deep creatively.
It's amazingly true. I don't know. I'll throw this out there. I think we can get Gary Hustwit to come on for 10, 15 minutes on the show.
That'd be great.
At some
That'd
point.
be great.
And it's actually very, very timely to have him on, despite the fact that this has been circulating on the theater circuit at various places for the past few months.
But it's accessible where? How can I see it?
This Saturday, for instance, it will be playing at the Roxy Theater in San Francisco at 6:45 p.m.
Okay.
There will be a specific and unique showing of Eno in San Francisco at the Roxy. There are other showings now and again here and there, and they'll come out, but get ready. Here's the trump card about all this. On January 24th, there will be a 24-hour live stream of the movie released at a ticket price of $24 with a series of different versions, surprise guests, performances, and other treats. If you want more info about this, and in order to purchase a ticket, if this strikes you as exciting, go to, this is the email, web address.
Yeah, go ahead.
ouprettythings.com. That's a line from a Bowie song.
I see. Okay.
And
Albert, maybe you can post that.
prettythings.com. Prettythings.com and click on the appropriate link.
Now, so that just gets you tickets to the San Francisco show?
No, that gets you access to the 24-hour live stream. Which
that's
is
cool.
$24. He's made, over $1 million doing this.
No, wait a minute. So I can see it online streaming.
You can.
I'm excited about this.
On January 24th, you can watch a few versions back to back, which is
January
cool.
24th.
Yes, on January 24th.
Is it only the one day? I'm sorry.
Yes, but it's going to continue to be released in this bizarre, intermittent platform way. I just was so blown away by it. And I thought, you know what? I kind of want I kind of want to talk about this on the
Tom,
air.
who's the keeper of the ding, says, my question about the documentary, though, why?
Why?
Why not? I mean, it seems cool, I think. It seems really cool.
Well, Eno is a significant figure in
Yeah.
rock music, and that's why. And why do it this way? Because it feeds into Eno's own creativity.
I remember listening to the ENO albums as I played cards all night in some card club, and I just sort of, it takes you to a different place.
Another Green World is probably the one you're talking about.
Yeah,
It's
I
gorgeous.
forget
It's
what it
just one of the
was.
most
Yeah.
beautiful. Okay, quickly, movies.
Moving on.
2 movies I missed that I should have covered when they were out in theaters for the first time. But this is actually coming out on a regular basis in theaters beyond New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago.
Yes, sir.
It's called Sing Sing, and it is a very powerful movie inspired by true events and real people. And it's about a man who was stuck in Sing Sing for a crime that he was innocent of. He's played by the terrific Coleman Domingo, who's getting a lot of Best Actor love. And he is sort of miserable, but what he ends up doing to uplift his spirits is he gets involved in a theater group in the prison. And there are other prisoners there who also get involved. And there is a new guy that gets caught up in it, and he seems like a troublemaker, and you know, he's going to be an issue for the production that they're doing. He's played by Clarence Macklin, and Macklin and other people in this troupe, in this ensemble, are all former prisoners, and the verity they bring to this is astonishingly good. And one of the cool things about the movie, which was directed by Greg Quidar and written by him and another fellow named Clint Bentley, is that it shows the healing power of art. I don't know how else to put it. And there's a lot of tension as they're trying to put up a show. And simultaneously, Divine G, our central figure, is trying to put together a proposal and a presentation for the parole board to show that he was innocent, and he has tape and what have you. So those are parallel stories. And he's also helping other prisoners while all this is going on to approach their parole hearings and possibly find freedom. It was beautifully done. It was very moving. Tremendous performance by Coleman Domingo, and shockingly good by performances by the various and sundry incarcerated fellows or
So
former
is he acquitted
prisoners.
at the end, Michael? Do they come in and they find out that he didn't do it? And
You
they
know,
let
I
him out?
can't tell you. I can't tell you that, Mark.
right, okay.
It's a spoiler.
I have to ask.
Very, very powerful. Sing Sing is opening in theaters over the next couple of weeks. We already saw it in New York and Los Angeles.
We're
But,
running out of time, Culture Blaster.
well, of course we are. Let's just close
it's not your
out.
fault. It's my fault. It's our fault.
Let's close
It's
out the
collective us.
film section.
Oh my God! There's
briefly.
another section after the film section.
No,
Go
I'm
ahead.
just saying we'll close out the film section.
Okay.
Sure. With All We Imagine as Light. All We Imagine as Light, which, by the way, opened a couple months ago, is going to be showing at the Roxy this Saturday, right
Wow,
after
San
the
Francisco
ENO.
seems popping. Right after
Yeah.
ENO, you can see All We Imagine is Light.
It is a wonderful movie by
All you Bay Area viewers, you
kind of
got
a
a good.
fledgling writer-director named Payal Kapadia, and it's all about what's going on in contemporary Mumbai. And it tells the story of a couple of roommates who are working at a hospital. One's a nurse, and there's a coworker and various others. And this is all about their relationships and how to deal with things like arranged marriages and survival in a incredibly dense and crowded city. And various relationships, religious differences. You know, you have the Muslims and the Hindus, so there's conflict there. It's a very rich tapestry. And, you know, you get the vibrance of Mumbai.
Yeah.
You get the beauty of surrounding areas that are more pristine and more bucolic. All of it's there, and the actresses are fantastic. The women are the central figures in this thing. Again, it's called All We Imagine is Light, and boy, it's a gorgeous film.
So wait a minute. So it's in San Francisco this weekend. Where can the rest of us see it? Who are not going to be
Various other cities have
So
it
check
showing
your-
in theaters.
check your local listings.
Check your local listings.
All We Imagine is Light. Okay.
Yeah, let's wrap up. I know you want to get going.
I don't.
You have
I
things
actually,
to do.
I tease you about wanting to do, but I don't. I'll go for another half hour.
Let me
I
just
don't care.
say, consider this a bridge to the after party live. Because I have something here that I think Kim should see.
Oh.
It's a TV series that I finally caught up to because its second season very brief, has just been released on PBS, and it's called Funny Woman. And Funny Woman is based on a book by Nick Hornby, the author responsible for High Fidelity, About a Boy, Fever Pitch, all of which produced lovely movies. He wrote the script for An Education, which introduced Carey Mulligan to the movie viewing audience, and it is just a wonderful film. And Funny Woman is based on his book Funny Girl, which is not about Fanny Brice, does not have anything to do with Barbra Streisand. It is about the 60s, a beauty queen from Blackpool, which is kind of a working class British seaside getaway town. And she decides, after a childhood where she and her father watched I Love Lucy and listened to British comedians on the radio, she decides she wants to go to London and pursue a career as a performer. And she has instinctive comedy chops, but she's a knockout. She's a beauty. So it's going to be kind of a difficult road to navigate, because in the 60s, a beautiful woman was just considered in large part just to be worshipped, or, arm candy or what have you. So she leaps into this, and she does manage to get a sitcom, become one of the stars of a sitcom that takes off. And so you get the wonderful 60s vibe of mod swing in London. You get inside baseball stuff about the BBC here called TVC, about the opposing commercial channel that had developed, and the performance by the central actor here, Gemma Arterton, as the woman, a woman who comes to be known as Sophie Straw but was born Barbara Parker. Just wonderful. Gemma Arterton started out in British films in something called St. Trinian's, which was about a girls' school, and she became a Bond girl for one of the Daniel Craig movies.
Jeez, man, you know so much crap. You're unbelievable.
And she's done all kinds of...
Culture Blaster is unreal.
all kinds of interesting stuff. But Gemma Arterton is luminous and funny and beautiful and riveting in Funny Woman. And just one more quick note. The book was adapted by Morwenna Banks, who appears in this as the wife of the talent agent that gives our heroine her first break. Morwenna Banks was on, I believe, not the 9 o'clock news in the UK, a very well-regarded comedy presenter and writer. And she came over here to the States for one season of SNL as a supporting player. She was on Saturday Night Live. Didn't really pan out, although she had a few moments. I think it was during the Clinton administration. And she went back to the UK, and she's great. The only other familiar face...
This is all a true story that is being dramatized.
No, it's all based on a lovely novel about a time and a place.
Okay, then I've lost you. I've lost the
Yeah,
lost
thank
the
you
plot.
for paying... I know it's smoke inhalation, Mark. I know that's what's going on here.
So, Funny Woman... Her Revolution will be televised. Where can I see it?
You can see it on PBS, or you can dig through the various streaming services.
But so the British woman to which you've referred, who was this person, she's a made-up character.
Yeah, she's a kind of composite of various other people, I would assume.
Oh, that's I see. Okay,
but I mean, there's no specific story. This is not based on a true story. This is based on a true time and a true circumstance, and true societal issues and gender roles and what have you, and how that stuff started exploding in the 60s. Proto-feminism was afoot here, but...
So it's based on a fake story, as Trevor Starr said.
It's a story. Have you heard of stories, Mark? Anyway, Kim, I think you're going to love this thing.
I'm excited to recap Funny Woman. He loves it. You can find it on PBS, or you can dig around, he says. I don't know. Google it.
If you like Nick Hornby's work, it's charming.
Google it.
Exactly. All We Imagine as Light, a woman-centric offering that takes place in Mumbai. He really likes it.
Beautiful film.
It involves some adversarial relationships between religious groups, but the spectacular, beautiful nature of the offering is something that Michael really was taken by. In fact, he used the word bucolic, noted as a ding word.
Yeah, that's one of the seaside village at one point. Yeah,
Yes,
so you get a kind of contrast with
Tom, who's the keeper of the ding.
The
And
hustle bustle of Mumbai.
Lamaku Meka also noting that as well. And luminous is a ding word.
By the
which
way,
is
it
also
won
used.
the grand prize at Cannes this year.
Oh, wow.
So
there you have
it's
it.
not just me. All we imagine is light.
Yes. He also really likes Sing Sing, which is the Coleman Domingo offering, who plays the lead, a prison inmate wrongly accused, serving time for a crime he never committed.
I feel like I'm late to the party on it, but in fact, it's opening wide on the 17th of January.
Clarence Macklin is in it. He is a former prisoner, and there were many former prisoners who were cast in various roles. Verity was used during the review, and Tom says it is a ding word. Now, Tom he is the keeper of the ding.
Tommy
He
D.
made a critical error, however, here, and I would say it's the first time I ever have noted that Tom, who is the keeper of the ding, has made an error, and it was around this word. He said compelling is a ding word. It was noted elsewhere by Trevor and others. Compelling is not a ding word, and Tom, this is a rare misstep from the ding commissioner's office. We cannot ding compelling, and we shall not. We continue, though. That, again, is Sing Sing. It is in theaters. ENO is maybe the most inventive offering I've ever heard of.
It's amazing.
In terms of an original offering every time you see it. It will never be the same movie. But if you loved Roxy music and you love the solo career of Eno and his producing career, David Bowie.
Talking Heads, David Bowie.
Thank you.
Oh, my God.
You will love this. It's all there in this documentary. Where can you find it? On January 24th. You can find it worldwide through the website. Is that how you get to it?
On the website, you can get ticket access. It's ouprettythings.com. And, of course, it does play in certain theaters here, there, and everywhere. And it will be at the Roxy in San Francisco on Saturday night.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Early
Saturday night,
evening.
the Roxy in San Francisco comes to life with a few of these offerings that Michael has mentioned. 24 hours of Eno live stream January 24th. It is $24. There's a lot of 24 associated with the Eno offering.
Guess when it was released, this movie? 2024.
2024.
Yeah.
Who was in the series from television 24? Anybody on this show?
I think some clown played a TV newscaster
How
once or
dare you?
twice.
I was more than a TV newscaster. I was the moderator for a presidential debate.
Okay, fine.
My God.
I apologize.
Reducing me to a TV newscaster.
You and Kiefer Sutherland, a match made in heaven.
We saw each other at the airport once and we compared notes over the series. And finally, he started with Den of Thieves 2. If you like Den of Thieves 1, you will really like Den of Thieves 2. But if you didn't see Den of Thieves 1, you won't know what the F is going on in Den of Thieves 2.
And if they don't show subtitles, I can't believe I saw a screening and there were no subtitles. Maybe they wanted to give you a sense of the reality of the situation. I don't know what they're saying. I'm in Europe. I'm an American. What?
Gerard Butler and Ice Cube's son, who is O'Shea Jackson Jr. So that means that's what Ice Cube's real name is?
Yes, it is.
O'Shea Jackson?
And Los Angelinos may know O'Shea from his work on various sports stations as a guest. Very knowledgeable. I hear he's a big Laker fan, so he and I diverge there. Despite their woes right now, it's Warriors forever for
Gerard Butler and O'Shea Jackson Jr., enjoy it, but Michael says it's a bit confusing, but at the same time, some incredible chase sequences and some other really impressive sequences.
The heist
in the
is
movie.
awesome.
Yeah. Michael, thank you. I wish we had more time, but we don't. You've taken all our time. And I'm glad you did. Somebody had to. You can find the Culture Blaster across the world of... I'm waiting for Albert to put up the banner.
You can read my thing about the best...
Albert's gone home.
No, a column about the best movies of 2024 at
thevoicesf.org. That's right there on screen. Thevoicesf.org. He comes and he goes on a rainbow. Bye-bye, Michael.
Stay safe, everybody. I'll do my best.
Yeah.
Hi, it's Mark,
Michael.
and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.